All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Providence Lucha Talk. This is Luisito,
Jay Aguila.
and we just saw NXT and AEW, and it was good. I think I would say AEW converted me. I know I've been not very hesitant about AEW, but I think I'm joining the dark side now of AEW.
AEW, of course. I mean, it's been the brand to support and follow since of October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that now things are getting very consistent. I'm gonna say more attraction. And also for those who are hearing us, you can definitely follow us at the Providence Lucha Talk on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook page, as well as our Twitter, Providence Lucha Talk, as well like our audio contact on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But yeah, AEW definitely stepping it up. But we also got to talk about not only AEW but AEW Dark. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It built a great build up for Wednesday night show. You know what I'm saying? And Impact Wrestling, I'm guessing they're really getting nice heat, more tension now that they acquire some like known players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
From major corporation now doing it in the Impact Wrestling. So I don't know. Let's just congratulate first of all the new tag team champions, the Motor City
Machine Guns.
boys,
Mm-hmm.
Machine Guns in Impact Wrestling for winning their tag team title against the North. Looking at the recap itself, it
Yeah,
seems
and I
like
think
it was
they
like
were
well built.
back. They kind of that's the first time they won it back. I think the last time they were champions of like almost 8-9 years ago. So it was a good thing to see, not retro stuff, but just it's being seeing TNA or Impact
Hmm.
back to its glory days when they used to be good. So now that they acquire a lot of people that were free agents, now
Hmm.
we get to see the good thing about Impact. And I think potentially if they end up doing the double show that we talked about on Tuesday, they're gonna have enough talent and people to be able to run both brands or both shows to give us a good product.
Oh yeah, and another thing we also saw from or we read, if you guys are more into the recap stuff, is like EC3,
Mm-hmm.
EC3 big appearance, both beginning and at the end of the Impact Wrestling episode, which was really good, as well as the Good Brother. But EC3 is the one that's controlling the narrative. You know what I'm saying, of his story, and the way how he approached it from the beginning and sold it to the end is definitely seems like nothing is written in stone, but it seems like he's going to be committed with Impact Wrestling, which again is not a bad thing. I think Lucito said it pretty well in the previous episode. It's just like he wants to be baby. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be like spoiled, have control,
Mm-hmm.
royalty, all the good, bell and whistles. And besides AEW, I think Impact Wrestling or Ring of Honor would give him that
And I feel
privilege.
like now that he's a free agent and kind of like he made a big mark that we saw on
Yep.
Slammiversary and basically also an episode on Tuesday that they had. And if I feel like now he has a lot of leverage to be like, I want to not want it all, but
Mhm.
imagine he has a contract that he could go to be part of Impact, but also be part of every other brand besides WWE. That would just like not shock the system, but it would be like crazy because he'd be one of the first ones to kind of work laterally amongst all the different brands. And I think he could pull it off.
I mean, definitely. It, it's interesting to see when it comes to these type of circuits. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? How far they're willing to go because again, the only time we've seen these type of TNA, AEW, or AAA are the only group of people that I'm seeing that they're really like working side by side in a sense
Yeah.
because like look at Wednesday night with AEW. They were able to acquire um uh not acquire, but they brought in uh Eddie Kingston
Mm-hmm.
to be the opponent for the TNT championship match, which to me it was really, really good. The promo, the hype, everything was so vivid. So um I'm gonna say he rushed it a bit, but it
I
still
think
delivered.
that's his style. I don't know if you've been catching up or saw some of the NW before they went off the air because of
Yeah,
COVID. He's very, now I'm saying very like natural, but I feel like he says it like if he was talking to his boys or whatever, it's never not polished, which is that's his gimmick or whatever. So I feel
yeah.
like that's the way he kind of talks and stuff. So I think it was he fit the character that he normally does.
I mean, like, no, the character I felt it. It's
Hmm.
just I'm not sure if he was just trying to rush it, the promo for the match, because like the message was delivered. Don't get
Yeah,
me wrong. It was what it was delivered. It's just like I felt like he was just rushing it because he was trying to say so many like things to like trigger Cody and Arn and trying to make them like lose their focus, and then boom, what I'm saying? He said, hey, I spoke with Big Boss himself, and he said, like, one, he's going to pay me for tonight, and two, I only will agree to this match if it's a DQ match, which, again, great stipulation. And I think I commented to you too, is
yeah,
like, this is the style that was more fitted to Cody
yeah.
compared to the younger guys, because
And
with the young
also,
guys, Cody looks slow.
how about, let's say, imagine how the elite's basically part of the executive board of AEW.
Mm-hmm,
How
mm-hmm.
about one of the Tony Khan not pulls a Vince move, but imagine this, eventually they do a story that Tony Khan's gets mercenaries to get rid of potentially Cody as like part of the executive board. That could be a story that maybe he start acquiring people to kind of get him off TV or off the title, just focus on business rather than in ring. Like you have to pick one or the other, which will be a good opportunity for them to.
I mean,
Do.
like, then what you're trying to say is more of a long run type of
Mm-hmm.
story, and I think there's still many more to go. But if that's the direction they want to take, then hey, by all means, go for it. I'm in with Ricky Starr, Eddie Kingston. I mean, I can't
That's all
wait.
NWA. Like they keep
I
bringing
mean,
people over.
like, so far, the one person we're still waiting is the formerly known Zack Ryder to see if he's going to be part of AEW. I think that's like the one person we're really, on our toe with his TNT Championship match, just to see if he's willing to accept that match, because Zack Ryder has a great resume. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Multiple IC champion, US champion.
And he
He's
still
a
got
triple
the internet. I
tag.
think he still got the internet championship. Remember we talked on Tuesday that I think that belongs to him as like how that up down down championship. I think that's kind of now WWE, but at first it belonged to them. I
Mhm.
think the internet stuff belongs to him, so he could bring it to us kind of like a not a gimmick match, but like champion versus champion or whatever, which would be good for any brand.
Dude, if they could bring in the FTW belt,
Yeah.
imagine the internet belt being defended on Dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so crazy because with Impact they got the TNT heavyweight, they got the X rated.
Yeah,
They
X
have
Division one. I think they have basically they have two heavyweights. They have an X Division, which is kind of like the mid card. They have trios, and they also have a tag team,
in
and
the
I think and they have
knockout.
the knockouts one. So
Yeah, so it's not surprising if they bring the internet, and then the internet and the FTW is only could be defended during
mhm.
the YouTube stuff on
Oh yeah,
Tuesday night.
that'd be great. So you could have the FTW as the heavyweight for Dark, and the Internet one as the mid card, and you could put the tag team over there too on the YouTube
Uh,
to build up people.
oh yeah,
Well, no,
definitely.
not the tag team, but the women's tag team that they talked about the tournament that could be something that could work
A
on.
great video
Yeah.
package too, because at first I thought it was going to be like a nice women division for the number one contendership, because I think that was going to be needed, because we don't know who is next for
Who's that one? Asuka.
Hashira.
No,
Yeah,
hey Rakushita, yeah.
but I guess it was between Belize and Demonte, and Demonte definitely has that women championship match
I think it's non-title. I
for
checked before we went hop in. I checked. It
yeah.
was non-title match.
Really? Because
Yeah,
I thought they
they
showed
hyped
the
that up.
belt in.
Yeah,
Oh, they just hyped it up.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was
Dude.
like. That's what I mentioned to you. I was like, oh, that's the only match. I think the card for next week. That's the only match I was like iffy about because the event is good, but I haven't seen her face Rakushita, so I don't know if there's any. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if it's gonna look sloppy or whatever. They have a week to work on, but it's just the chemistry between the two. But the match she did today was good, and I like that you had the two Latinas, Cuban and Puerto Rican, fight against each other. So hopefully,
Yeah.
Ivelisse gets another opportunity to the AW Dark and potentially become part of the AW crew.
I mean, yeah, this was her debut match, and seeing she was part of Lax too, and seeing what she have
Mm-hmm.
done before, I guess is just a little bit more, chemistry needs to be done. But I definitely see her and Diamante definitely be tag team partner
Yeah, that'd be
for
good.
this women division. So it's eight teams, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero is a unit for
But
sure.
who else? Who's gonna be? That's the thing. That's what I was gonna talk to. So they already mentioned the Nightmare Sisters. That's
Right.
done. Let's
Yep.
say hypothetically we put a group together. So you have the two female stuff that fought today, Ivelisse and Demonte together. So
That's
they could be
two.
the modern LAX or the female LAX or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
who else? Like the other people, I could maybe could see if Riho comes back or if she's available. Riho and Irakushita maybe, or Riho against the other not Asha Kong, but the other wrestler that was Riho's trainer. They
Okay.
could be a team together.
No. I was thinking a little bit way far left field. I was thinking of Kairi Zane.
When you think she's instead of going to Japan, she's gonna go to AW?
I mean, like, we're
I'm
not.
saying no, why not? But yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Why not?
I mean, like, like. It's kind of interesting that they're promoting this. You know, what I'm saying after they're announcing that she was gonna be ending her contract with WWE, and seeing that she was not let go, but it's expiring. I'm assuming that she doesn't have that 90 days
Mm-hmm.
uh, se-
Clause, I think.
a clause.
Yeah.
So maybe her and Ashita could be a nice team for
Mm-hmm.
them to join. Big Swole definitely be involved with someone from the women division. So I think that the team are slowly going to build up because definitely the big faces are going to be Nyla Rose with Vicky, uh, the Nightmare Sisters,
Mm-hmm.
the Caribbean girls. Of course, Ashita's probably going to partake with it. Then we also have
It
Penelope
maybe
Ford.
yeah, maybe Chris Tallender could be back by the time that happens. I don't
I
know how
thought she
bad.
torn. I thought
Yeah,
she
but
torn her ACL.
yeah, but I don't know like how
It
bad.
takes three
Yeah,
to
but
6 months to recover, though.
true, but I don't know how severe because you could tear it. You know what I'm saying? Like they might give you their medical stuff, but it's you know how severe. Like we have to, I guess, more. I want to know more medical stuff about.
I wouldn't rush it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't keep. I won't hold my breath for Chris Stanlander. To be honest with you,
you know, it'd be good. Abaddon and Nyla Rose together.
again, I think Nyla Rose is just gonna be with Vicky Guerrero. I
Just
think those
she's
two.
gonna run the tag team by herself. Like she's
Yeah,
gonna be
like
two against one.
Yeah, like Braun did with the little kid.
Okay,
That's it. To me, it makes sense.
and that'll be
For
interesting to see Vicky as in the ring too.
I mean, she's done it
Yeah,
before.
true.
I don't think she's not going to do much, but maybe Nyla Rose set her up for a pin or two, like
Yeah.
Mr. Brody Lee does with Colt Cabana. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I could see that happen, and you keep her occupied with a unit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Avion, the Brazilian chick, and the girl with the mat that looked like a magician too.
Yeah. I
Those
think
are
Sarah.
like
I think something Anna J. The one that joined the Dark Order.
maybe we
That's the
don't
one. I
know.
think that's Anna J. I think that's the one that joined the Dark Order. I think.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, like right there, I think the 8 teams are formed is just knowing who are the Penelope, Hashida, the top hat girl from
Yeah.
Dark Order, and Big Swole partners will be.
Yeah.
I think that's really the big question mark.
And also, I think they call her Reba, but Rebel, the bodyguard or assistant of Britt Baker,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
used
yeah.
to be a performer too, so maybe she could hop in and join them. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's another not hidden talent that you have there, but it's just like another body that you have there that has performed before and possibly could jump in to maybe take a fall or something.
I mean, like if the push is going to be like Britt Baker be on the sideline and she do all the work, then cool. I could definitely see like an underdog story like that of the role model. But then again, you got to keep in mind that we have to know if Britt Baker is really gonna take the bait on this,
Yeah.
and that's something I'm not really rooting for, to be honest with you. Rebel, if she was a past performer, I think she's going to be one of Britt Baker, like rivalry match in the near future after All Out, because all the attention that Britt Baker is giving us loud and clear is that, hey, I'm going to be in All Out, so all eyes on me. And Big Swole is definitely saying, I'm your opponent once you come back, which is really exciting. So as long as there's good tension between the two, there's a story that is going to be worth waiting for, and hopefully good result from it.
And also, I know I've been pushing this forever, and I've been trying to throw it in the system to see if hopefully it fits in. But maybe I know the person that's a free agent. We talked about it on Tuesday, Tessa Blanchard. So she still has no, but I'm saying, but she could be, and she could be acquired through AEW. Her dad, it's Tully, so she could be joining part AEW or maybe W. But she's another person that's in the ether that she could probably show up at the tournament or do whatever. Like that could be another.
She could show up to the tournament, but I believe she's going to. I mean, the only partner I could see she working with is really Penelope Ford, because
either that or Britt Baker.
Again, Britt Baker. I mean, like,
I think Britt Baker's gonna hold down to All Out, but
Britt Baker. If Rebel is gonna if Rebel and Tessa is gonna be like partner, just to take Britt Baker's spot, then yeah. But with Penelope Ford and Tessa, I feel like that could be like a nice chemistry going. Someone who overcome the heavyweight championship from a different brand, helping out this petite little girl who's trying to be the badass, chick in AEW. I think that chemistry could work, but I guess we have to wait and see to see how it works out. And you know what? I don't want to disrespect this man, even though I'm not a big fan of the WWE still protesting on it. Keith Lee.
Okay.
I feel like we should also started off with this as well. Keith Lee opening an announcement that he's going to be relinquishing the North American Championship belt. Luisito, you saw it. What's your thoughts? What's your feeling about it and the upcoming match for the belt?
I think it was a good decision for him, because we talked about it on the previous episodes about him winning double. Is he gonna defend both? As story purpose and stuff. I would say it was too quick for him to not drop it, but relinquish it, because he basically had it for like a week, and I don't think it was for the good of NXT. I'm glad that he did it, but I wish he would at least defended it, probably at least one more time or something. But I'm glad that he relinquished it and allowing other people in the division and that NXT to give an opportunity, which he was given when he partook of the North American tournament and everything. So I feel like now his focus is on the NXT Championship, which is good. And this tournament is going to be good because it's going to be triple threat matches throughout. I think it's going to be 5. I don't know if it's 5 weeks. I think NXT 30 is going to be August 22nd. So let's say it's a month. So for the next 4 weeks, there's going to be at least one triple threat match. Whoever wins qualifies for a ladder match for NXT TakeOver for the North American. The triple threat that they had today, it was Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, and Broderick Strong. And it was a good match. It was long because I was taking my little notes and stuff. That match went basically almost 4 segments of AEW while that was going on. And who do you think that? I know since you haven't seen it or peeked, who out of the 3, who do you think came out of it?
I mean, like Johnny Gargano and Roderick Strong are previous North American champions, so I am surprised that they were in the first round.
Yeah.
So they really miss a good playbook for the actual ladder match for NXT Takeover. I'm gonna say my money is on Johnny Gargano.
Bronson Reed won it with a splash, which was crazy. So
Bronson Reed won it over 2
former, which is good because it gives him the push. So basically, he defeated 2 former North American, and it gives him some momentum. Him becoming the dark horse of the tournament. and being kind of keeping, Keith Lee being a big guy and holding the title, him being probably one of the biggest guys that I've seen that probably could continue in a tournament. So he qualified, and the one for next week is going to be Finn Balor against Timothy Thatcher against Dexter Lumis.
What?
Yes, the tournament is crazy.
But
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
God, I feel like they don't really understand the build because like I was gonna ask you the following question. On this ladder match, I'm assuming it's gonna be like 4 competitors, right?
It's I think 5.
5. And
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you who's your 5. My 5 was gonna be, Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, Strong,
Maybe Dream.
not really. Dominique. Dominique was definitely in my listing. And someone I'm gonna say Dexter Lumis. Those were my 5 picks for this ladder match. But so far
they scrambling everything.
Yes.
Everything. Which is good. I think it's good for NXT because
really?
I feel they're giving other people opportunity. Because I appreciate Finn Balor and the stable people being on TV and having champions, whatever. But you also NXT is kind of like you want to build up people. That's your performance center. Your stepping stone towards going to SmackDown, Raw, on other companies or whatever. So I feel like them giving other people that we didn't even think about or even considered, it's a good showcase for them. Even though if they don't win it, but that's good for them, especially Bronson Reed. I think the Finn Balor, I think he might win his tournament next week, the triple threat. Because I feel like you need a superstar for that takeover, and it's gonna be takeover 30. So I feel like you need somebody big to kind of like headline that pay-per-view.
Well, my hope is that they will have a second chance match.
Yeah, I think they might end up doing do everybody, all the losers together, and whoever comes out of that continues on.
Because if you don't put Johnny Gargano or Strong or even Dexter Lumis in a match like this, then you're really not thinking with your head.
And we also we're kind of forgetting the former NXT champion. He could jump in there and become North American champion again. Adam Cole.
Who knows? Honestly, who knows? Because like my hope is that Adam Cole didn't really sign that contract and probably will be going, appearing all out. Like
with
that's
Britt
like
Baker.
Yeah, that's like my biggest hope, even though a lot of people have been saying, oh, he did sign the contract, but it's not written in stone. I haven't seen it yet. So, I'm crossing finger on that idea. But if it's Adam Cole, maybe, I mean, he definitely did his thing as a North American champion as well for almost like 6 months. He was the longest reigning. So he's the longest reigning
both
North American and NXT champion. That is crazy. Good job, Adam Cole. But
I feel the tournament's a good idea. I like that they're scrambling everything around and throwing like history and patterns out of, which is good. That if it's one place to do it is NXT. So you're giving people opportunities, which is good. And the match so far today was really good. It was long, but it was triple threat. You needed to make everybody sort of look good and kind of like put in the puzzles and stuff. So it was good finish. I don't know how the next week with Finn Balor, Thatcher, and Lumis, that's going to fit in. Because all 3 of them are so opposite. Dexter Lumis is weird. Then you had Timothy Thatcher, a submission person, which he had a match today with Oni Lorcan today. And Finn Balor we haven't seen since Great American Bash, I think. Or even before that. So
before that.
Yeah, so I don't know what.
American Bash.
Yeah, so we haven't seen them work against each other or however. So should be an interesting match. Different, but I don't think it's going to be the best match out of this North American tournament. But I think Finn Balor, hopefully, I'm hoping he moves on. But I don't know how things are going. I don't think so.
All right, so let's go back to AEW after that conversation because everything else probably was pretty sucky for NXT. Shout out to the Jurassic Express for trying to step it up with the Inner Circle. Yes, I'm saying Inner Circle because we also had the privilege of the return of Sammy Guevara to the squad. He was hidden as a as a wrestler. What's his name again? Was like
Serpentico. But I gotta,
Serpentico.
but the thing
I
is,
saw your
like,
post.
I gotta go back and see when Serpentico was signed. Was
Mm-hmm.
Serpentico Sammy was ever since the beginning, or is it you know how the meme for the two Spider-Mans looking at each other?
Yep.
Is it like that, or is it two different people? Because I remember back in TNA, they had Shark Boy. I don't remember Shark Boy from Impact. They had it was Austin Aries behind the mask of Shark Boy. So Austin Aries got released and fired, so he came back as Shark Boy and kind of came back and kind of like got re-signed, but kind of won the contract or the title as Shark Boy. So maybe they pulled something like that with Sammy, like that Sammy was playing Serpentico all this long.
The man is not going to give up millions of dollars.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you could suspend Sammy
Mm-hmm.
Guevara for his action out of the ring, but you're not going to mess with the boy money and his talent.
Yeah.
You don't want to put it aside. So him having a different persona makes sense. I was really amazed on how well it was delivered. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, oh, so this is the fifth member. Sammy
Yeah.
Guevara is not going to be around till All Out, blah blah blah. And turns out it was Sammy Guevara himself. I kind of concluded it was him once he did his press moonsault.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel before that they gave you, like, me thinking back, like not knowing what happened.
Mhm.
Me going back to, if you kind of those probably rewatch the highlights, or if we get a chance to later on rewatch it, if you really look up like that segment, they pan out to him for, I'm like, why are they sometimes they go out, they pan out to the crowd and stuff, they pan out to him, then went back to, I'm like, why are they giving importance to him, like camera time to him, and then we saw him after. So it was just like, it kind of, now it all connects together after we saw the results, but it was just like, now it makes sense. And it was just like, but I was hoping Serpentico was a member, but he's not. It's Sammy, but which is great. I was like, that was probably one of the best reveal they had.
It was the best reveal. Not a best reveal. It's just the upcoming match for next week, where it's going to be a 5-on-5. I know that this show was already pre-recorded, and the announcement were live during the show, because like the reaction of JR and Excalibur and Tony, those are live throughout the show. I just felt like they kind of rushed it. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, because of this, we are getting news that they're going to be a 5-on-5 match where Jurassic Express and the Best Friends with Orange Cassidy is facing the Inner Circle as a whole. And this right here is really big news, because I think this will take over the Tornado tag match that we're going to be seeing from John Moxley and Darby versus the FTW Brian Cage and his partner Ricky Starr. I think that match is going to overshine, and it's going to be the last one. But I like 5-on-5 regular match.
And the thing also, like, the 5-on-5 kind of like makes sense story wise and stuff. But before the match, during, I think when they went to screen on screen and kind of muted, they before that they pan out to Matt Hardy on the crowd. Is he just watching? Is he scouting? Because remember, he's also part of, like, not part, but one of his personas is kind of with Private Party, and he got a thing with Sammy Guevara and stuff. So I don't know if he's scouting or watching or whatever, but it was just like they gave him some camera time, just kind of panning out. Also, like, I even wrote in my notes, I'm like, why Matt Hardy? But that maybe they left that just kind of like in the back burner, just to be like, oh, you get a hand of Matt Hardy, and maybe he'll next week or the weeks after that.
The same reason why Jake the Snake was in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The same reason why other superstars will be in the crowd, just so we'd be like, oh, are they scouting? Are there interest? Or they're just filling the spot? And I think they're just like Easter eggs for us to like pinpoint throughout the show. Be like, oh wow, they're homeboys there watching the show as well. But
Darby got a beat. That when he got hit, I don't know if it was he oversold it, or I don't if that was
the sneak attack from
that was like, if that was like planned, he's a great actor, great taking bumps. If that was not, he got hit like hard. I was like, yo, that I didn't even see that. Like, I'm watching people coming at it, like out of at an angle, and I didn't even see that coming. And I'm like, he took a big bump, But I feel also Darby likes that, like getting not. He got a high tolerance for pain, so
I mean, I think you're discrediting the video team for AEW because they did a similar action with Ray Phoenix on Orange Cassidy. You
yeah.
know, when he came from the back and nobody expected it, but
Yeah, the Hadouken one, that was crazy. Like that.
yeah, but um they have a great element of surprise with that
Hmm.
team with the angling, and it was really good. You know, because just to put a little contents, right? After the championship match where Cody did, you know, contain the belt, hold the belt,
Once
won
again.
it. Uh, yeah, whatever.
Hmm.
John Moxley did gave a good promo.
Hmm.
It was pretty his style, not too rushed, but very basic, straight to the point. And then Taz responded back with Brian Cage. Uh, Darby showed up, and you know, when we thought, you know, he's gonna get hit with the skateboard or something, Ricky Starr just like took over the show, man. If there was a surprise moment or wow moment, that was it. And the alliance was formed because of the AEW Dark, you
Hmm.
know. And I'm glad, like I said, it's coming over, and now we're gonna see a tornado match next week. And I'm really excited to see this first AEW tornado tag match happening live, hopefully.
Yeah, and
That's what
also I appreciate that Taz is kind of adding people like Ricky Stark is a Tasman or like a Heyman Taz guy. So I'm glad maybe we might see if eventually if it's not one off, a good addition will be Eddie Kingston to Taz group, and I feel like that'll give like another element because at least I know Ricky Starks and Eddie Kingston, they have the NWA um like connection. And I know
mhm.
Ricky Stark used to him and Kingston. They feuded before, but they kind of like have mutual respect because they fought over the television championship back in NWA. So they know each other and they kind of like know their boundaries and barriers. So that'd be good and be a weird, not misfit team, but it'd be an interesting team. But they all fit the FDR mold or the task mold that they're down for business.
I could be behind with that if it's possible. Um, Again, with AEW is all about like the old WCW ways. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Different units, stables being established, and you know, building a story from it. Another person that really did a great video package, in my personal opinion. And take it how you want to take it, but I think the Lance Archer one was really good because okay, not
Yeah,
a,
no, it was okay. Like
like
I
you
like
couldn't
that I like that he like I for me I feel like the message was good. I for me I was laughing when he threw the guy up the ceiling and he broke the tile. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
dying. Like I
that was
was dying.
perfect. That was really
So
good.
it was funny, and then when he put him in the trash can, I feel like I was like that. I couldn't stop laughing from that. Then just paying attention to what he was talking. But either way, he got a reaction from me, which is good
Yep.
because any reaction is good reaction. So I'm glad that little by little he's getting some reactions, momentum. I just wonder what's next for him.
What's next for him is, I think it's either the AEW belt, in my personal opinion,
Mm-hmm.
or the FTW belt. One of those two would definitely look good on him. The TNT, I don't think Cody would really want to give him the
Nah.
time of day again. And if so, then Lance is definitely like taking it from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like literally like rampaging him and taking the belt, hurting Arn as well, and you know, just call it a day,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion. But like with Lance, I'm glad that you know he's still around. He's definitely given his presence, and I'm disappointed as well. Scorpio Sky did not perform today. I think it was a missed opportunity for him. I'm not sure if he's more of a dark superstar versus
No,
a
and I feel like
dynamite.
and I'm not saying they had enough time, but I feel like they had a loaded roster today. So I feel like maybe next week that we could see him. You know what I'm saying? Not next week, but maybe in an additional match we could see Scorpio Sky with Kazarian or even by himself with whomever to build more stories. But I feel like at the moment, since after the paper that they just had Fight for the Falling, they're trying to kind of like finish out the stories that were built from there and
Mm-hmm.
just like continue because we had the Darby and Cage, then another story kind of build up and AEW Dark. So I feel like they're trying to like continue the stories that they were rather than adding more stuff to the plate because they don't want to get not too confusing, but just mixing things too much, then they lose track of the stories, even though it's not too many people in the roster.
Yeah, it's just like it's unfortunate that I'm not sure if Scorpio Sky will be the guy to also take the belt from Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like he's definitely good contendership, as well as the match between the Young Bucks and Butcher the Blade.
That was good.
That was wonderful. That
Mm-hmm.
was really entertaining. They used full of the environment. They took it to home base for the Butcher the Blade, brought it all the way to ring. Again, remember this was a count. It was like
Four counts anywhere. Yeah.
fall count anywhere match,
Mm-hmm.
and they use every element of it. You know what I'm saying? They turn into a street fight, even though it was a fallout count anywhere. Which I'm like, that's thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
The finish was great too. I both double pin. I'm not sure if one did the elbow drop and the other one did like a swanton.
Well, the one that fell on the Blade did a swanton, and the one that fell on the Butcher was a elbow drop. But I will have to give props to the Blade for continuing the match, because when he dove and missed the table, that was a rough spot.
So he did miss.
He did miss. Like he did miss. He was supposed to like not smash on the table, at least either hit it or like just use the table as like cushion, rather than just fall straight out. And like that's why when he was limping around, that was for real. Like that was real pain. So that's why they kind of both sometimes beating up the Butcher for a while, just for him to recover and come back to the ring and kind of continue the match, which was good. Good teamwork between the four, which was great.
And I'm surprised that the Lucha Bros didn't show up in this match, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Since they had like an alliance, but at the same time, it's kind of good that they did it,
because I feel they got the win. So they did what they had to do, and they're in the win column. I feel like if Omega, let's say Omega and Hangman would have showed up, whatever, that would have been too messy. I feel like now that we have the story, the FTR, now that we have the FTR,
the Lucha Brothers. I'm talking about like Ray Phoenix. And,
but I'm saying if they came to help out, you would have had kind of like the story that you were trying to tell with Hangman and FTR wouldn't have been told the same if, you know what I'm saying, like they would have came to help.
I'm glad you said that, because like hypothetically, the same way how FTR came to the rescue of Hangman Page first, I think Kenny Omega would have done it for the Bucks.
Yeah.
And so then you would have like a certain type of division or wage between these two guys, for the match between them in the Dark Order for the tag team belt, which, crossing fingers,
this is the moment. I feel like they're going back to day one for that tag team division, because for me the Dark Order was supposed to be they were supposed to be the first champions, and they weren't, because they were undefeated in the tournament. They got a bye, then they were undefeated, then they lost, I think, in the finals. I feel like they kind of like not a redo, a mulligan of what happened in the tournament, but I feel like next week might be the week that the Dark Order possibly, and I hope they win it, either that or the following week or whatever. But I feel like this created a wedge. Whatever we saw with FTR and Hangman and Omega, I feel like that created the wedge of this is kind of point of no return between the two, which is good.
We are just this is it. If you could do it on a Wednesday night, next Wednesday is the night to do it, because I think that's going to bring up viewership. I think that's going to be like the biggest talk as well for a lot of different podcasts that does what we do in a different format. I think crossing fingers.
And also, if you think about it, in the others, let's say they always compete with NXT. NXT hasn't had anything tag team related in like a month and a half.
I thought the Breeze Dango.
Yeah, but I'm saying the championship. Like, I know Hangman and Omega's been on TV, so you kind of see the title. Imperium haven't been anywhere around, and that tag team division hasn't been one of the highlights of NXT. They've been there, but it hasn't been going, because they have a couple of good teams, but they just focusing right now of the North American and NXT, even the cruiserweight, greater than the tag team. So there's an opportunity for them to like even get up notch above NXT.
You gotta do what you gotta do, because supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? And since they're not really supplying a lot of teams, of course you're not gonna people are not really demanding it. So
Yeah.
Imperium holding on to the belt. Again, don't be a Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying? Don't hide it.
Yeah.
But please try to defend it at least once a month or something for the people. You know, not me. I'm
True.
protesting, but for the people.
Yeah.
But going back to AEW, I mean, like again, Heyman Page versus 5 Allen Angel or Angel Allen.
I think Alan Angel. Yeah, Alan 5 Angel.
I hate it when they have two first name as like
I feel
they're
like they
wrestling.
tell you like, oh, find a person's name and an object and like an object. And I'm like, oh, Alan and Angel. Okay, put it together. Like that. I feel like that's what they do. Or like what you ate last Tuesday with the name of somebody. Like pick one. Like I just.
Yeah,
I feel the 5 throws it off. Like Alan Angel's not okay. It's whatever. I don't know what his finisher is. He can do one wing angel, but like if he had the one wing angel, it fits the name and stuff. But like
no, it's not gonna do.
But it was just like I don't just nah.
I mean, his match with Heyman Page. I'm surprised Heyman Page didn't do much of his like.
He didn't do buckshot. He didn't do the buckshot.
He didn't do the buckshot. He didn't do his
the reverse tombstone either,
or the press. You know, moonsault that he does as well. We didn't see a lot of athletic from Heyman Page, but you know, the finish was right. Brody Lee going to his phase. Oh my God, him versus Brody Lee would definitely be a great match to watch. I think the build up, like again the wage between the division between Kenny and Page, dude, it's so there. It's so there.
And I like that Brody Lee brought Cole Cabana to basically kind of come with me. He had to talk, whatever. He was like, let me bring you out so you don't see what we're gonna do to your friend, and just took him out. So I feel like he's little like converting Cole Cabana and kind of like putting like a blind over him so he doesn't see what he does to his friends. And eventually, I feel that's gonna backfire later on. But I feel like for now, it's a good way of telling the story and kind of like putting a blindfold on Cole Cabana.
Yeah, it's definitely great. But again, if you're gonna bring out the squad, they should also brought out the female as well. You know what I'm saying? If she's part of the team, and if she's step aside because medical stuff, you know what I'm saying, that's understandable. But if she's available, you gotta let her represent too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta know if she really signed the contract or not and did the dirty deed. That's all we are really interested to know. Overall, AEW, I think, gave a very solid match. I don't think there's not a one moment that I felt unentertained. Even MJF, not to disrespect the man, but his match against Griffith,
the promo was good. I feel the promo was great, and the mic work was awesome.
And I'm glad that he's giving a jobber a voice and a voice. I think he sold it. He sold it, and match was quick. And like I said, I don't think there was a moment in AEW that I was like, let me change the channel.
Even the referees were good. Like Aubrey Edwards, when she was fighting with Jericho, I feel that was entertaining. I feel like that I like that they keep doing what works, because them two have some chemistry with each other, and they all bicker with each other and stuff. So she added some interactions of them, some personal interactions into the match, which was good. So she was fair, but she's sick of Jericho. So she's like, you know what I'm saying? So she does her thing, and it was a good banter between the two, and kind of like she tried to keep everything as fair as possible. But at the same way, if she could get away with messing with Jericho, she'll do it.
I mean, I guess she was just being clear that, hey, she's the ref. You can't really touch me. You gotta listen to what I say. Blah blah blah. I think that they did a great job with that. I mean, that's a kudos for you and on that observation. Again, AEW just built a great show for today and next week. It looked pretty awesome. Again, we have Sheeta versus Diamante. I guess is a non-title match
for now. That's what they have in there. It could change from here to Wednesday, but it's most like a non-title.
Let's see what happens. We are getting the Tornado Tag Team match between Darby and Moxley versus Cage and Star. We are going to get the 5-on-5 Jurassic Express with best friend Orange Cassidy against the Inner Circle. We're really excited for. We are also going to see
Hangman Page. The tag team Hangman Page and Omega against the Dark Order. I think it's Evil Uno and I forgot the other guy's name, but Evil Uno's partner. For the tag team, and also the Cody one.
TNT. Like there's 5 matches that could really take over.
For the Cody, we had Eddie Edwards today, and we seen the people that have fallen for like against Cody.
Eddie Kingston.
Who do you want maybe see? Not that you saw the Extreme. I feel like this AEW is like the Extreme, quote unquote Extreme rules of AEW in order, like what WWE couldn't do for Extreme Rules on Sunday, AEW did it today on a regular Wednesday, and I feel like they had better matches and some extreme stuff in comparison, kind of battling Extreme Rules. I feel this is their AEW Extreme Rules on a Wednesday.
If you're saying that they
they had the thumbtacks, they had the 4 counts anywhere, then you know what I'm saying, like they have some matches that were like,
if you're saying like they actually demonstrated what an extreme pay-per-view or unsanctioned match should be like, then AEW definitely deliver it. I thought you was going to like ask who was going to be his opponent.
That too. Who do you think it could be? For me, I just want to see so he could just get him out and he don't have not another chance, but because I know he's been giving opportunities to people that we haven't seen or haven't talked about. What about what is it, Michael Nakazawa? I wouldn't mind seeing that against Cody.
Maybe. I'm thinking like just to like hype it up a little bit more. Probably another like free agent.
Okay.
Or again, I'm gonna say his name again as many times as possible until I get it. Scorpio Sky. Like Scorpio Sky, I think he will definitely be able to at least really give Cody a run for his money. Because again, I thought like with the Sunny Kiss, the great person that could follow up with him was Scorpio Sky, but they brought in someone who is like Eddie Kingston because I guess with what you pointed out with the Extreme Rule pay-per-view, they responded to it with their own Extreme Rule matches. So now I think with Scorpio Sky, it's just like, yo, we need a person or an element that could help build up the rating, especially against Finn Balor, because Finn Balor is definitely going to get the UK viewership easily. You know what I'm saying? Easily done. And anybody who was with NXT back in 2016, all eyes going to be on Finn Balor easily. So Scorpio Sky definitely is my pick. Or if not, Zack Ryder. You make the announcement that Zack Ryder is the surprise guest. That's great. And again, the formula, this is what I'm talking about. Championship match, boom, good opener. The filler match was the I think it was the Young Bucks. Yeah, the Young Bucks in the
it was MJF and Griff Garrison. That was
the 9 o'clock one was the
so the middle one, you doing the first middle and so the Young Bucks was middle and then you had finished out with Chris Jericho.
It was just like great. And again, Chris Jericho is definitely a strong closer. So my question is John Moxley going to be the middle guy? You know what I'm saying? Because
I would say looking at the card,
2 belts. You got.
I would say Hangman. No, TNT is not really a belt, but
the STW.
No, TNT. No. But so you could open. I feel like Cody. Now I'm saying should open every week, but since you have an open challenge, you should open every show with the open challenge. Period. Like until you know what I'm saying, like be the opener. Because so you could bring a new person.
I hear your argument.
You know what I'm saying? Like you turn on the TV, you see Cody, you know him. I feel like Cody or Chris Jericho should be your opener. So like that's your but I'm saying depending on the feud or whatever's happening. But I feel like
Chris would never be an opener though. But
he doesn't just have to do what like he could introduce, he could comment or do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
commentary.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I give you that
Yeah.
commentary for Chris Jericho. We've seen that he done that before,
Mhm.
but like we can't say that his match is going to be an opener because he's been more of a closer or a mid guy throughout
Yeah.
so far this whole COVID-19 situation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I have not seen him open the match ever in AEW. It's
Yeah.
just hard to see that.
But I feel like if you have somebody like them, I would say somebody like a face that people recognize, a name that, you know, people stay tuned at least the beginning. Like, you 8 o'clock hits, boom, you at least face that you know. So have somebody like that. Then
Omega. That's what I'm thinking.
yeah, but I feel like it's next week. I feel like that tag team. I feel like you need to finish.
Which tag team? Because we have a tornado tag and
I feel like the tag team championship has to, for me, it has to be the end. I feel
it's not.
The Darby Moxley is gonna take more than half an hour. So they could finish it. They could be like 9:30 to 10. They could finish that or do the middle.
Okay, so this is my mindset, right? I could see either the tag team championship or the TNT championship be the opening card, easily as the opening card. I could definitely see Ishida be the follow up as the cool down. You know what I'm saying? And then you build it up again with John Moxley and Darby versus what's his name again? Cage and Stark. Because I agree with you, that's going to take about maybe 15-20 minutes
The tornado
from the
one?
jump.
I think maybe. But remember, today we had Luchasaurus. This match is the last one. Luchasaurus, basically,
about
Jurassic. It's about 20 minutes. I feel the tornado one is gonna be crazy, and I feel they're gonna need a little bit more time than 20 minutes.
I don't think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be like 15-20 minutes top, because then you have to like cool it down a bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the big one that people are gonna be like tuning in, or they're gonna give more time for, it's that 5-on-5. That 5-on-5 cannot be like less than 15 minutes. It's impossible, especially with Chris Jericho that and his whole crew. Sammy Guevara actually doing performance, and is most likely he's going to have a dark match on Tuesday to then be able to, you know, do his thing with the inner circle. It's just like you got to give them at least 30 to 40 minutes of the show. The TNT Championship, I think that's
15, 20. Yeah, that's the top's 15, depending on who's he's facing.
Yeah, and that's why it could be, you know,
Kushida and Diamante is gonna be 5 to 7. It's not gonna be.
It's quick. That's why I said like the TNT or the tag the TNT or the tag team championship as the opener, right? That's gonna take about what 10-15 minutes top. And if Dark Order is able to do it quicker, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be a bigger pop than winning the belt as the opener. And then you got FTR coming in. Then you got the Young Bucks coming in. Now we're going to have the Elite versus the FTRs.
Then then you have a triple threat for the Young Bucks. You have Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, and FTR for the number one contendership for the.
Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. I mean, like that as an opener is just like, it sounds great. You know what I'm saying? And then Ashida and Diamante definitely is like the cool down. So the 5-7 minute boom. Then you switch it up to like the tornado tag. Because again, you think it needs more time. I think it's going to need 20 minutes top to then for the mid card to be the TNT championship, because it's a belt that's being defended. And so far, Cody has been defending it between the 9 o'clock period or the opening start of the show. One of those two spots is usually Cody's.
I think the only time he closed that was at a pay-per-view. That's about it.
Against Lance.
Yeah, that was that really took months to build up. Nah.
Good point. Really good point. And Chris Jericho, like I said, he's the closer, man. He's like the Bernie Mac of AEW. You cannot put him in the opener because the performance that he's going to do, nobody's going to be able to outshine.
For me, I just see like the finale. I want it to be more. I'm just thinking about the Moxley one at the end, because whomever wins out of the two, the teams, they could hold the title like high. So if Moxley and Darby wins, he could hold the title, you know, being the AEW champion, boom. Or Brian Cage and Starks could steal the thing, and basically FTW championship upheld high to close out. You know what I'm saying? Have Taz and kind of like then build a feud. You know, whatever happens, I feel like you could just a good way to close out and kind of to imprint people's memory, kind of like a champion kind of became like reign supreme in this match. You know?
The thing about that is that AEW doesn't see the AEW as a heavyweight belt. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a belt that is decorated and respected, no doubt about it. But it's not a fighting belt like it is in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When Chris Jericho had the belt, he was doing crazy nonsense. You know what I'm saying? The submission match with Jungle Boy to see if he lasts 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The story build up with Cody Rhodes, the story with John Moxley. You know, Chris Jericho was all over the place. John Moxley, due because of health issues and stuff, it has not been defended that consistently, so it doesn't have that type of hype. However, Chris Jericho without the belt is still relevant. That's the beauty of it. And like I said, he is like the Bernie Mac of AEW. If you put him in the startup lineup, there is no Steve Harvey, Cedric Entertainer, or DL Hughley that's going to be able to top it.
But I will say now, we always talk about the TNT, who's next, and also we have plans about the FTW. There's nobody for the Brian Cage eventually, maybe if he does a rematch, but there's really nobody else for the AEW Championship, which is kind of tough because it's just like, okay, this is gonna be stuck in limbo because Chris Jericho could go back at it, but it's just like you wanted Jericho to be the first. Period. History was made. Cool. Now, that's like one way I didn't want Moxley to win it. I'm glad that he kind of like he went from coming, after he became free agent, kind of like I took not almost a year, but almost a year for him to like get a promo with Jericho.
A good story.
But like,
up, yep.
What's next? Like, there's really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted Cage because just to not keep the target of the title moving. But now that the FTW got brought in, now it's just like it's not up to par, but it's just like there's nobody else for Moxley.
I mean, keep in mind of this, right? The in New Japan Pro Wrestling, they held on to the belt for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Years.
But they at least they defend it, or at least they do stuff. Like now Moxley is just like
Moxley is doing that, only that the opponents are not matching his stardom. If that makes sense. That's the only thing we're not seeing compared to New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's just that the stardom level is not there for Moxley. However, you could still have Moxley work with Cage again. You could still have him be the AEW champion for more than Jericho. Let's say he lasts till like September.
Okay.
Hypothetically, September to October, which was going to be AEW 1 year anniversary, right? And then you could pass along the belt, or he get injured, knock on wood, he has an injury, and he's relinquished of the titlement, and then you build up a new story for the belt. Because I think that's might be the direction.
Because everybody wanted, I know everybody at least were thinking of wanted Darby, which is a good thing. But now that FTW Championship came about and him and Cage, I feel like you kind of deviated Darby's story towards the championship. Now he's going to a different championship for now. And I feel like the only people maybe Cody, because he said he'll never win. He never challenged while Jericho was in it.
I thought he said he was never going for the belt again.
Yeah, but while he was against Jericho doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying? I probably have to review the tape on that. But if I was like, I will read the fine print and see. I have to go back and see the like stipulation on that. But like
I felt like he said during they were doing a live show, was like he was not going for the belt ever again if he lost to Jericho. Like this was his last attempt. This is it. No more. And
I wouldn't mind seeing him going against Moxley. That'd be something different. He has to drop the TNT the first.
No, I don't mind to see him and Moxley doing the champion versus champion type of match. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I wouldn't mind that. I don't want him to be the opponent for Moxley. Really? That's the only thing. No, I don't like the chemistry before, and I don't think I'm going to be a big fan of it now. So I'd rather have them do maybe a one-time match, champion versus champion, just for entertainment purposes. Boom, thank you. And then again, Moxley either lose the belt on the 1 year anniversary,
or like technicality by kind of like not injury, but just if he needs some time out, whatever, just get
or
injured
injury.
or something. Or
Like he got injured during the previous pay-per-view, not able to hold the belt. He's relinquished. Now we're gonna celebrate the 1 year with a new champion, which again, Brian Cage, Darby, Lance Archer, Mr. Brody Lee. I think those will be all great candidates as for the FTW heavyweight, is also for them as the AE.
also, I wouldn't mind seeing Matt too. Maybe Matt get involved in that mix. Matt hasn't been doing nothing, so I wouldn't mind Matt.
He's
like
a coach.
No, but I'm saying, but I wouldn't mind seeing him against Moxley for just a
He's
little bit.
Just
Just
for Nero. That's what he's doing. He's waiting for Nero.
Yeah, but
the most we gonna if they pull a WrestleMania moment once again with these two together,
that's crazy.
Sir, imagine that. Like as soon as Jeff Hardy contract expires
on the date,
it
just appear like
he disappeared 90 days, whatever, and then it's Matt, Broken Matt and Nero working together to face whoever.
Take everything. They're gonna take everything. The tag team. I could see them take the tag team one, then take Jeff Hardy. You know what? Yeah, Jeff Hardy take the TNT and Matt Hardy take the AEW.
Go for it.
That'll be great and just take over. But kind of talking about a little bit about contracts and stuff. I don't think the contract that Rey Mysterio was supposed to sign, I don't think they agreed on terms with AEW.
According to the news, it's like WWE doesn't want to meet to his demands, which was a raise. So I'm hoping Rey Mysterio just fall back. You know what I'm saying? WWE was cool. It was great seeing you. You definitely have a spot in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Unless he goes to someplace else. I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
How?
Like they've done that to people. If people start moving places, I don't like that. The doesn't taint their Hall of Fame stuff, but it's just like he's guaranteed Hall of Fame WWE period. But I feel like if he could join somebody else, a competitor, I feel like it gives WWE kind of like a big FU to them. You know what I'm saying? So I would just
So you're telling me a person like, I'm not sure if Tommy Dreamer won the made it to the Hall of Fame, or
I don't.
If he did.
Well, for example, Kurt Angle, it took a little bit because he went to Impact. He was there for a while. He was kind of
Honor too.
Then so then he was in kind of in the hot seat for a little bit of WWE. Then he came back and kind of repaid the dues again with WWE, helping people out and kind of like helping other. But I feel like I wouldn't mind seeing Rey Mysterio in AEW, but I feel like he wouldn't fit in anywhere in AEW at the moment for me. I could see him in maybe MLW or maybe back to AAA, but not like AEW and Impact. I feel like they don't need somebody like Rey Mysterio at the moment.
I'm still at the part that if you become a Hall of Famer of WWE,
well, he's not one. That's not yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but hear me out. Just hear me out, right? You are either a candidate or a Hall of Famer of WWE. You will not be able to partake on other organization because now your name is written in this area that now you can't go nowhere else. Is that what I'm like comprehending from this conversation?
That's the same thing what happened with Vicky. Like Vicky did a one time thing with AEW, and WWE didn't like it at all. So everything that Vicky did in WWE, but I feel like they just like
matter of fact,
kind of like took her. I don't think she is like a Hall of Famer, but
I feel like she is.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking it up as we're.
But it was just like I don't know. I feel like either stay in the background for Rey Mysterio and kind of like help Dominic for training and stuff, and just be behind the scenes, because I feel like at the moment the companies that are competing with WWE or basically Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan. Maybe he wouldn't be too bad in New Japan, but they don't need somebody at the moment. Somebody like Rey Mysterio, and I feel like that's not really a division for him to fit in. So it's gonna be kind of tough. I wouldn't mind. It'd be interesting, but I don't think he could fit in any other companies.
What is a compliment? Mrs. WrestleMania, Slammy Awards, Wrestling Observer and Newsletter, the best non-wrestler. Okay, so she never made it to the Hall of Fame. Okay, damn, Vicky's not gonna make it to the Hall of Fame. Bless her soul. Okay, that sucks because I would love to see Ray Phoenix and Ray Mysterio Jr. go at it one more time if it's possible. Please and thank you. I'm kind of
They've
like,
done that. You could just rewatch Lucha Underground. That's it.
yeah, but
That's like they've done it. It's not like it's never like that's a match that's never happened. But
one
they
more
had a
time.
couple of times in Lucha Underground. Like it's there.
Yeah, one more time. I just want
Yeah.
to see it one more time. That's
It's
all
like
I
us
want.
wanting to see like Sting and Undertaker. Like that time pass.
That is never gonna happen. I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't care what people say or what.
Sting against Cody for TNT title. Oh, you see, that woke you up. Yep,
Okay,
that
first of
wouldn't be
all,
too bad.
okay, but Sting is a Hall of Famer, so if he goes to AEW, wouldn't they
He's a
remove
free
his
agent.
name?
He's a free agent.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but he's already in it.
He's
Not getting.
franchise tagged to the WWE. It's like, from what we spoke before this topic, is that you are a candidate or a Hall of Famer. There's no way in hell you're gonna be able to work at a different venue. It doesn't.
They've done it with what is it? Booker
Who?
T. I think he
Booker T
worked.
started his own thing.
No, but I think Booker T was an Impact before he was a Hall of Famer. I think.
Was it?
Yes, and I think
But he paid his due doing all the
Yeah.
commentary stuff.
and the same thing with the Bubble Ray. He's not back in WWE, but Devon is. But I know the 3D are. But I know Bubble Ray was an Impact, and I think Kurt Angle was another one. And DX, I know they're not a big fan of them.
Okay, but the names that you just listed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their career was that they left the organization not as a contendership for or candidate for the Hall of Fame. Once they came back and paid their dues a year or two, then they were, qualified to be the Hall of Fame. But I never seen Bubba Ray going back to Impact or Ring of Honor after they gave him the jacket or the ring.
He's in I think is it Ring of Honor? I think he might be in Ring of Honor. Either in Ring of Honor or Impact. I think he's still over there. He's producing and stuff. Yeah.
I don't understand what's like.
It's just
anymore.
it's crazy. But
yeah,
no, it's just like for me, just the money didn't work. Contracts didn't work for Rey Mysterio. I feel like
yeah. That was the whole topic,
just
yeah.
just be behind the scene and help your kid out, or just go off to the sunset and just retire.
Just retire or just have fun in Ring of Honor because
he had almost 30-year career, which is excellent. He won almost every title. He's won from the cruiserweights, from tag team to heavyweights. I know he got a couple of
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but I'm saying he got a couple of things missing, but overall he had an extensive resume, which is great for somebody his stature and background and stuff.
Yeah, he's a first round pick.
There's
for the Hall of
also
Fame.
that he's been part of some. Unfortunately, it was an accidental. Somebody passed away wrestling, but I'm saying everything for the past 30 years he's done everything, and I feel like,
again, he's a candidate. I completely
but I
agree
was
with
just
you.
be off to the, just retire, be behind the scenes or something, or producing. But like it, you
Don't
need to be
produce. Just don't be near WWE.
just don't be near a mic, and that's it.
Yeah. Good God. Okay, let's just end the show because you killing Ray, man.
He's my man, but I'm like, dude, you just can't.
It doesn't seem like you guys are cool because you keep burying him every time. Between him and Humberto, I don't know which one
Humberto's
gets worse.
Oh, he's the worst.
No, not the Rio.
Humberto Carrillo, yes.
Carrillo, like you've been burying that poor guy.
As you saw, he hasn't been on TV. I guess WWE's listening to me because he's that bad. He didn't even went over to help Aleister Black. Where has it been?
Well, apparently it's not working out. So, Providence Lucha Talk. All right, you can definitely follow us on the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as the Twitter. Providence Lucha Talk. You could Google it. You could Bing it. You could bird call it. You're probably gonna find us once you type in the word PLT or just Providence Lucha. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely in there. as well as our audio contact on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So I am your boy Jay Aguila,
This is Luisito.
and we say good night.
Good night. See ya.
Peace.